Yeah, I would say we need to look at it on two fronts, right? First is most retailers are investing heavily in their e-commerce or omni-channel offerings. They're trying to up their game against the Alibaba, the Jingdong, and other online players, where most of the retail growth is happening these days. But on the offline side, right, I would say they're investing to upgrade the experience. But at the same time, I would say they are quite conservative right, when it comes to having more stores and larger stores. I mean, those are the key trends we are seeing. Yeah, I think in a way it's actually very similar to what happened in Western markets, right? Consumers are, of course, always price sensitive, but at the same time, they are willing to pay for value. They're willing to pay for products or services that meets their needs, solve their problems, and so that's in a way it's very similar to other Western markets. But at the same time, right, there is, I would say, more price transparency or even more perfect information online. Just the fact that how much Chinese consumers like to review the products, review the brands online. I would say it's now even more critical, right, for whether it's retailers or brand companies, right, ask the questions of what are the problems they are helping consumers to solve, whether it's emotional ones or functional ones, how they are helping consumers, what value they are offer, and to really counter the fact that pricing is extremely transparent, product information and brand information are extremely transparent, right? I would say if an offline retailer is selling exactly the same products consumers can find online, I would say they would have a even hard time, right, being a showroom, right? So why bother, right, to do that, like from a consumer's perspective. So I think retailers really need to focus on how to bring consumers back to the stores, at least especially the younger and the more affluent ones, give them reasons, right, to go back to stores. I mean, people or consumers, right, will not, stay indoor or in their home all the time, right? So obviously they want to go out, and they like shopping. But the question is how we encourage them to actually do the shopping in the stores, right? It's really differentiated experience and products versus, the same, commoditized standard products that you can easily find online. And the selling staff, how they engage the consumers, that is also really critical, and it's often a highly ignored lever, right, in the past. Yeah, I would say, well, it sounds obvious, right? It's trying to adopt your success formula, right, from other markets and try to make it work in China. It sounds obvious, but at the same time, there is a lot of organizational inertia or even constraints, right? And there are also, I guess, a strategy or desire to have standardization, to have global scale, and all that, right? So, and there are also a lot of corporate or regulatory red tapes, right, that in a way could easily be translated into having exactly the same approach, exactly the same positioning, exactly the same products, right, around the world. We have seen, right, a lot of companies sort of falling into that cycle, right, of trying to adopt the same approach, right, globally, and then fell in China. So the consumers are different, the regulatory environments are different, the channels are different, the digital ecosystem are basically, a complete different planet here in China. So all these, right, would require a very localized approach, right, in making sure a brand or product or service, right, would have a strong growth and success in China. Actually, across categories, services, right, we see actually many foreign companies are still doing extremely well in China. So the days of really fast growth, right, across brands, across categories, whether you're foreign or local, obviously gone, right? But for companies that really speak to the consumer needs and desires, really help consumer to solve their problems, are all doing extremely well, whether it's local or foreign. We have seen examples, right? So I would say the distinction of foreign or local are in a way quite arbitrary. It's really how you approach the market, really connect with the consumers that really determine whether a company is successful in China or not.